Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. You are speaking to Zuki Swatembani, who's also known as Zuki T. Please do allow me to reintroduce myself to you. Today I'm doing a part two of the breaking down the wall. Breaking down the wall. The reason why, to someone maybe who's new to this channel, I'm doing this breaking down the wall. I am letting go of the baggage that I feel like I am carrying inside of me. I feel like it's a heavy baggage, and I don't need to be carrying it. And I'm making peace with how my life has always been, but I am not carrying the baggage anymore. I feel like carrying on the baggage, it sort of brings a lot of negativity in my space, in my life, and in my future, and where I am going. It does have a lot of bad impact carrying on all of this baggage, because I feel like I get stuck somewhere. I get so stuck somewhere, and I feel like it all goes back to my childhood. I am calling this like healing my childhood. I'm healing my childhood traumas and pains that I went through when I was a child. And I am letting go of all of those things that have been hindering me. I feel like it's not fair, number one, to be carrying all of this baggage all by myself. And even if I'm navigating my life, I feel like there's certain aspect where I get stuck, and I do not want to do that anymore. Um, I do not feel the need to do that anymore, and I'm healing myself through this journey. And if you are familiar with the story in your life, or you have met people who do share similarities with how I am telling the story, please do find and be kind to them, because at the end of the day, I believe in the saying that be kind to people. Be kind. You do not know what the next person is going through. And the reason why I'm doing this also is because I feel like everywhere I go, there's always someone who's telling me their story. I'll be in a taxi going to work, and when you are in a taxi, I travel with a taxi, and I would meet someone. I've encountered a lot of stories when I'm in a taxi. I am very quiet in a taxi until maybe someone breaks the wall, or either we're asking each other about change, or doing something, and I would find that the conversation will continue, the story will continue, up until the story will continue, up until I see that this person really needs to talk to someone, and they will then connect to me in such a way that, oh God, I don't know how to explain this, in such a way even I would ask myself as to why is this person telling me this story? Why me? Why are you telling me this story? Because who am I, for one, to be told this story? I've encountered a lot of that. I've had 3 instances, I would say even 4 instances, whereby I've met women in my life that I've never seen in my life, that I've never um, encountered in my path, but they would feel the need to share their stories with me. I would then go back to my spiritual self and say, please, God, why me? I am carrying a whole lot of baggage, but why me? Are you specifically um, sending these women to me? sometimes their stories really do get to me because it sort of upsets my day. uh, it really does upset. I get so drawn to their story. I would go in and feel their pain. I would feel their pain, the ultimate pain that they are feeling, and I know sometimes they're just asking and sharing because they have no one to share the stories with. But with whatever little advice that I have, I would give it to them, and I would remind them. I don't want to lie. I would remind them that there's always a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture in life. It does not matter where, how you are feeling today, what it is that you are feeling today, but there's always a bigger picture as to why you would go through this. And I feel like the more each day that I walk, every day that I'm being given life, God sends these people to me, people to me who really just need to be guided. God really just sends these people to me for my ears to hear their pain, for me to sort of give them a little bit of healing in their lives. And at this moment, whatever I share with them, I always make sure that I tell them that, um, whatever you're going through, this too shall pass. This really too shall pass, and you will find the air light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't mean that whatever that you are going through right now is not going to pass. It will. But also, it depends on each story because each story is different. But again, how do I, Zukiswa, who am I, to be walking this journey of my life, carrying my baggage? How do I offload my baggage in order to be helpful to the next person? Finding my purpose is only one thing that I am really living for right now. And in order for me to do that, I feel like I need to offload mine before I start my new journey in my life. So the second story, um, okay, this is about my childhood life, my childhood trauma that I feel like I suffered um, when I was growing up. Okay, this is part two. Remember the first story that I shared? Okay, run this with me and how it ended. After that, my dad dated another lady. With the second one, I'm not gonna dwell much. Again, their relationship was not long. It was just a short-term relationship that they had, and then they broke up. Third woman entered our lives. Okay, with this one, she was a widow. She had a house. She had her own things. And when we were introduced to her, by family members, because when my dad never sat with us and had meetings with us to tell us what was going on in his life. So when we were introduced as like, okay, going to be a mother-in-law again, okay, again. And they are planning to marry. Okay, another marriage again. Yes, they are definitely going to marry because this woman is going to sell her house and she's going to move into your mom's house, and everything is going to be so lovely. Okay, we didn't have anything much to say about the situation again because we were kids. So when they moved in together, it was like boom, 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 in. Oh, she's in. Oh, lovely. and she was very kind. I feel like every woman that comes into our lives was sort of like trying to, be kind, act kind. Let's put it that way. They always act kind as if they are nice people. But as soon as they are inside the house, they start all of these dramas and, create havoc. Okay. Then we had havoc, who knew everything about us. We hardly knew anything about her. But at this time, I feel like we were a little bit, we were growing up. We were not so little anymore that we were clueless. We knew, what was going to happen. So when she came in, she was nice again. And then I thought to myself, I wonder, when is she going to show the real side? Because I believe everyone wears a mask when they come in, then they start unmasking that mask. So I was just waiting for that unmask of her to fall off. And it did. Okay. She used to cook my dad. She was the worst one. Really, she was the worst one. If you thought the first one was worse, I enjoyed a lot of beating with the first one. Oh, this one was very much worse. She would hide food for us. She would have pencil drawn, stickers drawn of where if you if you if you act about someone, you don't know life up until you know what to. The fact that someone will go out of their way to put a sticker on a butter to mark it for the next person not to touch it is beyond me. She will hide spice, she will hide peanut butter. Whenever we would make food for our dad, she will hide everything away so that we cook ugly food. And whenever she cooks, she will take all of the spices out and then she'll make the nicest food. So if you ask me, what does that say about that person? At that point, I was so over this thing of hers and my dad. I mean, at that time, I was just growing and I was becoming rebellious because I was just so over a lot of things. I mean, I was so over things. So I was labeled again as the black sheep of the family because I was not taking anything. She will go and use a Coke or drink some Coke, open the fridge, drink some Coke, and mark it. I will go and take that Coke, open it, pour for my sisters and I, and drink it. And when they ask, everyone will look around and they would know it's me. So I was becoming rebellious at this point. And then, trust me, she then would cook food, cook meat. Hear this part for me, please. Make it make sense. She would cook meat only for my dad and her. And then once they done, we'll eat the gravy. Hmm. At this point, I was like, no, I'm not having it. And at this point, I was becoming more rebellious in my life. I was becoming more rebellious in my life because I was so over a lot of things. And the story that I heard from the street is that, oh, the husband passed away. That's what was said. You know, when the streets are talking, the streets are talking. So the streets were saying to us, no, the husband passed away, and blah, 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 blah. Eventually, my dad married her. She got married. Let me run this story quickly backwards for you. My dad, remember, I had mentioned that my dad thought that he had divorced my mom. But at that time, my mom was sick, so my dad could not get a hold of her. So they ran the story together that my dad was already divorced. And then the second mom, my mother-in-law, the second one, got married traditionally. Okay, she was very old, but she did the traditional wedding. Oh, she was so happy. At that time, my dad was a taxi driver, and my dad had money, a little bit of money coming in. And at that time, I was so over a lot of things at home. I was becoming like rebellious, and I was so over it. So she would take it. There was this instance where I blew off. I don't know where I was coming from. At that point, I think I was going in between my mom, would visit my mom, and then come back home. And, I was growing up, growing up. So when I came back, she had taken the TV off. My sister was watching the TV, then she came in and she took her TV. Remember those 54-centimeter TV? Then she took the TV into her own room. And when I came in, I asked my sister what was wrong because I could see my little sister was sad. And my sister said she took the TV. I was watching it. I said, "What?" Hmm. I went into her room. I knocked. She opened. I asked her, "Why did you do that?" And she says, "No, it's my TV." I said, "It's your TV? Whose house is this?" She couldn't answer me. I said, "Whose house is this?" Because the last time I checked, I knew now that they were not married because my mom was still married to my dad legally. So I also had news for her. I'm like, whose house is this? Why would you take away a TV from a child and put it in your room? For what? Why are you so evil? Why are you so damn evil? Not only are you so evil to us, but you are so evil to us every day. I mean, the mask had already worn off. I mean, she was showing her true colors. And I took back that TV. I put it back in the sitting room. And then I switched it off and said to my sister, "Please watch." And then I sat down because I was now waiting for my dad because I knew I'm going to get punched. But luckily enough, when my dad came in and she ran the story to my dad that I was rebellious, I was like, fighting, blah, 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 da, da, da. With her, and I took the TV. My dad had no answer. I mean, how can you have an answer for something so evil that she was doing? Because I was like waiting for my dad because I was so over a lot of things with her. And I didn't fear at that point to have a confrontation with him because I knew whatever I was saying at the time was like fighting for us, fighting for our freedom, fighting for us to be, you know, live in a normal way, which we were not. Stories that we've told again, I feel like letting go of these stories, letting go all of this pain, letting go of all these emotions that I live with every day. So after that, my dad kept quiet. Okay, now she had a bone to pick with me. Remember, now she had really a bone to pick with me. Not only my dad was siding with me, my dad was now to you know finding courage to stand up for us. So I was going to be labeled the black. I was the blackest now sheep in the family, the blackest one, because now things were turning again. Okay, she knew now. She no longer had a control in the house. She no longer has that control in our house. I mean, the fact that I can stand up for myself, I can I can stand up for myself, and my dad will be able also would stand up for us was a little bit becoming a problem for her. So she would go out of her way to make my life miserable. And whenever I would go out, when I came back, she would lock me out. There was just a whole lot of drama. Oh my God, a whole lot of drama that was going on in that house. And whatever I was doing though at that time, I knew that my sisters were also finding courage to stand up for themselves, which is something that I thought I would never see them doing. They were finding a courage to stand up for themselves, stand up, have a voice, be able to stand up for themselves and speak for themselves, because it was hell living in there. And how did the story end? Okay, how it ended. I'm gonna run this through. The story is very long. It's such a sad story, but it's so funny. I'm finding humor in it now because I'm letting go. I'm letting go of this baggage. How it all ended for the second mom. Okay, with the second mom, it ended like this. Remember, I said that she got married traditionally. She was married traditionally. She was married traditionally. Oh, the reason why she broke off with my dad, I'll tell you. Remember, I was the one that was rebelling against the family. So when everyone was labeling me as the bad one, um, the reason why she left, it was not me. I won't lie. It was because of my sisters. Um, Apparently, she cooked. She cooked. She made food, and then, as per usual, she dished for herself. She dished for herself. While she was dishing for herself, my sisters came in and they saw that she cooked. And when she finished cooking, I'm going to run this through. When she finished cooking, my sisters went in and dished for themselves, eating the meat, the so called meat that was my dad made, um, dished for themselves. And when she asked, they said, okay, it's our food, it's our dad's food. My dad brought this food for us. And she got so upset, she got so angry. And she made a whole lot of drama around that. And when my dad came in, my dad said nothing. That's when now the problem started. So it brewed, it brewed, it brewed. She was also a drinker. So she started to drink late at night, you know, to fix things, I would say, for herself. I don't know whether she wanted to fix things or what, but whatever she wanted to do, she wanted to fix not fix things, more of confront my dad about the issue that we have. But at that time, my dad was so over a lot of nonsense that she was doing, so she had to pack and leave. It was quite sad because when she packed at night, and then my dad had a van, a Datsun van outside, and when that van was outside, his clothes were like everywhere. It was so funny because we were sitting outside and looking at the store. We're like, okay, she's so drunk now. Uh, Here are her things, outside. Um, yeah, guys, the things that we've lived. We've suffered, but we are still standing. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey of unpacking and offloading and letting go and finding a new meaning of life in 2024. 2024 is the year of truth. We're letting go of the old baggage. We're carrying on with life. We're looking forward to life.